Good evening and welcome to another live Twitch Blobby_Butler F123 stream for DRS, the Dynamic Racing League. We are in Japan this week and we've got pretty much a full grid once there's a couple of late joiners, which is good to see. Just counting in, we have short qualifying 18-minute session followed by a half distance race. Bringing you all the action live. And then later on tonight, Blobby and Baker's Monday Night League is off to Australia at 10 PM. You can see my point of view racing around Australia in Blobby Mondays. So that's what's to come. Here we are, let's sort out the settings. That is perfect. And as usual, we will see who goes out first and we'll follow them on their hot lap. In the meantime, I will just go to the live streams and make sure it's locked. Okay. I'll just let the drivers know that we're streaming. Okie dokie, who's out on the track then? Looks like an Alpine, and let's have a guess that that's MK5. He's usually one of the first ones out, and here he is. Also out is Easy Life. As you saw him just there in the background. Do come and say hello in the chat, give us your predictions for the race. Also drop a follow. If you like the F1 content, we're live Mondays and Thursdays, possibly soon to be Fridays as well. A few more people coming out now. Hopefully they are aware on pit exit that MK5 is going to be starting his flying lap. On medium tyres also. An interesting choice. And here he goes into this tricky sector 1 here at Suzuka. .31.8 for a first sector. No idea if that's good or bad, as obviously this is the first lap to set a time. MK5 usually up there on a Monday in terms of qualifying pace. Keeping it clean through there, and now up into this very quick straight with left hand up, flat out through here usually. There he goes, final chicane, bit of curb on the exit, and through he comes, and that will be a 128.2 for MK5. MK5 sets a 1:28.2. Easy Life must have been validated, or not gotten there yet. There it is, 1:42 for Easy Life, so a lot of scope for improvement there. We did have a Williams up quite early. I think that was Ronnie. Here he comes through the final chicane around the last corner, and it's a 1:28.9 for Ronnie. That's second place for him at the moment. A little bit of glitching going on there, and that's because Syme has seemingly left the session, so hopefully someone can get Syme back in. TMK sets a 1:28.9 and takes that second place from Ronnie. Sainzy's going around slowly, he's invalidated. Across the line goes Fatlep, it's a 1:28.5 for him, and a 1:28.9 for Levi up to third, but not for long. Swanton 1:28.3. So everybody in the 1:28s at the moment, but MK5, that maiden lap, is holding at the moment. Easy Life coming through, he's setting a better lap this time. But he's not making the 1:28 still. Syme's back in, and that's a 1:30.8 for Easy Life. Beaten by a 1:30.1 for Miller Vanilla, 1:30.2 for Al Newt. And the slowest at the moment is 1:31.7 from Mr. Pickle. I believe he's a newcomer. I've not seen his name before, unless it's a name change. Here comes UJ. And UJGC sets the fastest lap so far with a 1:28.0. 1:28.0 for UJGC then. Scornful is on his out lap. He is the championship leader. Let's go and see how Sainzy's getting on. Sloth has also set a 1:30.2. He's in 9th place. And catching King Kong at the top of the Pro-Am. King Kong had a massive lead, but it has diminished a bit. Joker has managed to get in, which is good. Sainzy then coming round the last corner. Hello to Swanton in the chat. And a 1:29.7 for Sainzy puts him 9th. Let's go to Scornful Griffin, your championship leader, as he's on his first hot lap. TMK is back on his way out. Sloth has gone 5th with a 1:28.8. Joker has now managed to get in his car, so that's 18 now on the grid. Skippy sets a 1:39, so he's going to have to improve a lot on that. Purple sets a 2 here for Swanton. For Scornful, sorry. Syme having issues, wheel issues, according to Bunny's Vengeance. Hence why he left the session and came back. Scornful Griffin sets the fastest lap so far. It's a 1:27.8 for Scornful. 1:28.9 for Ben Lane. Bit of traffic as everyone comes out of the pits there. 3 cars coming out of the pits as 2 others went by. So hopefully everyone can sort themselves out there. just Syme and Joker yet to set a lap time. Syme having real issues. Thanks for Bunny's Vengeance in the chat for letting us know that one. And Joker, who got in late, will be sorting his setup before he comes out. So let's go back to MK5, shall we? Because he's on a fly-up. Just see him passing Scornful there. Pedals were the wrong way round. Well, yes, I'm sure that's pretty difficult to drive in that situation. Hopefully he's sorted now. He is back out on track somewhere. So we will have a look at him when we see the end of this lap from MK5, which at the moment is going to absolutely blow pole position off the map, because he's almost a second up on his previous. So here he comes to the line, and it's a 1:27.2. MK5, what a lap that is, 1:27.2. And welcome in Ninjas has now joined also. Here is Syme then, hopefully all those wheel issues are now sorted. And he's gone round sector 1 in 32.1. Getting some ribbing in the chat from Bunny's Vengeance. Off he goes. Skippy has improved now to a 1:32, but he's still well off the pace. UJ with a 1:28.0 is in third spot. Syme then coming up to the chicane. And it's a 1:28.9 for Syme, which puts him in 11th place. Look at that. 7th right down to 12th. All in that 1:28. Around the 1:28.9 mark. Let's go and see where UJ is. He's up on his time, not enough a pole at the moment, but could jump above Scornful Griffin here. And UJ does a 1:27.3, which puts him in second. Let's go and see Fat Lep. He's also up through into sector 3. Oh, he's got a bit deep there though. And has abandoned that attempt because of that. Our Newt slightly down on his time. Levi is down on his time. Mr. Pickle is half a second up. Half a second up, Mr. Pickle through sector 1 alone. So we will keep an eye on this. We've got some yellow flags all over the place now. Which hopefully doesn't mean anybody's crashed. Not quite managed to keep it up through sector 2, Mr. Pickle, but he's still up on his time. And up towards the line. It's a 1:28.4 for Mr. Pickle, and up above his teammate into 5th place. Levi this time is up on his time. Half a second up through sector 2. So Levi looks to be climbing the order here. He qualified very well last week and was desperately unlucky to find carnage in the first couple of corners. It's a 1:28.4 for Levi and up into 5th place. Somebody left or joined then, I didn't quite see it. Ben Lane comes round as well, and it's a 1:28.4 for Ben Lane and up to 6th for him. That's the only ones who are actually on laps at the moment. Joker has retired, so I don't know if he was allowed to set a time or he was on a quali ban perhaps, but he will be starting at the back of the field. Not sure if he came out or what happened there. Ninjas is now out on track as well in the Haas, as leader MK5 starts another hot run and could be his last one, as we've got 2.5 minutes left. So we're about to see a mass exodus from the pits with people, and off is MK5. A big smash there for MK5 coming off that curb on the outside. Let's go and see TMK. TMK's off as well. Look at that. Just as we come to TMK, he is off as well. And that is rather incredible. But TMK will stay out the way and limp back to the pits. Or limp round for another go if he hasn't got any damage. No visual damage there. No visual damage either for MK5, I don't think. So he'll be going round potentially to have another go. Of course he is pole at the moment. UJ, Scornful and Swanton all on their outlaps. Al Newt is about to start his last flyer. Ben Lane's out. And where has this happened? Is it in the pits? It may be in the pits. So Ben Lane's out of the session. A few on outlaps. So Al Newt is on a flyer, as is Syme a little bit up the road. So let's see how Al Newt does through sector 1. And then we'll go and check Syme out. He's 2.5 tenths down, so we'll go with Syme, who's a bit further up the road. Less than a minute left, so people will be starting their last flyers here. Al Newt's abandoned that attempt. Meanwhile, Syme is 4 tenths up, so we'll look to climb the order here. And up to the line with a 1:28.1 for Syme, and that puts him in 4th place. He's taken 7 tenths off his time there. Very, very good indeed. Let's go and see Swanton. He is through the first couple of sectors but hasn't taken much time off. The checkered flag is out, so this is the last chance. Al Newt has hit the checkered flag. Here's Swanton, and he does not improve. Swanton does not improve. Ninjas is on a 1:47. UJ has invalidated. Ninjas hits the line but is still last with a 1:31.2. Skippy's a second down. Sainsy is slightly up on his time as he comes through. And does improve slightly but remains 15th. Ronnie is slightly up on his time as he comes round the final corner and improves 1 position to 11th. Fatlap is well down on his time. Ninjas has left the session, which is concerning. Syme is well down on his time. So I think that's it. MK5 takes pole position, UJ in second, Scornful Griffin third, and then it's Syme in fourth ahead of Swanton, Levi, Ben Lane and Mr. Pickle in eighth. 8 different constructors in the front 8. Before the second of the Alpines, Miller Vanilla is 9th and Fatlep will round off the top 10. We will have a pause of about 3 minutes after the end of this session, during which time I will take you through the standings. Hello to Smug in the chat. Ninjas is back in. On the grid, we will, on the formation lap, we'll go through the tyre selections, but before that we will go through the championship standings ahead of the race during this 3-minute interval. So it's MK5 on pole from UJ in second, Scornful Griffin, championship leader, is third, Syme and Swanton 4 and 5 from Levi Hughes. Then Ben Lane in 7th and Mr. Pickle in 8th. Melvin in 9th, Fatlep 10th. Ronnie 11th, Alnute 12th, Sloth 13, TMK 14, Sainsy 15, Easy Life 16, Skippy 17, Ninjas 18, and Joker did not set a time and is 19th. Whether he had a qualifying ban or because it was he was late in, I'm not sure. So here we go then. We'll have this view of the pit lane for a little while now. So what I will do is tell you about the standings, where in the Drivers' Championship, Scornful Griffin has a 27-point lead on Ben Lane. Ben, of course, not a permanent seat, but has been acquiring points as reserve for different teams. He is 12 ahead of UJ, who's only 1 ahead of MK5, and MK5 is 3 ahead of Syme. So the battle for third place in the championship is well and truly on, with MK5 on pole, UJ second, and Syme also up there. Then it's Boris Johnson, who's been missing for a couple of weeks. Swanton is next, and then King Kong. Smug and Joker rounding off the top 10. The Constructors' Championship sees a 30-point lead for Red Bull ahead of Ferrari, who are 8 ahead of Aston Martin. Then it's Alfa Romeo, Alfa Tauri and McLaren all tight. Haas, Alpine and Mercedes all tight, with Williams trailing at the back. The Pro-Am then, King Kong leads but isn't here again. Sloth just 8 points behind now, with Sainsy in third ahead of 50 Gent, who's also missing. Opportunity for Alnute and Skippy to get a bit closer, and Easy Life as well. Then it's Ninjas, Miller Vanilla, Ronnie and TMK, with Enixia yet to score any points. Enixia is possibly out of the league, I'm not sure. So there you have the championship as it stands. It's going to be MK5, UJ and Scornful right up there. Swanton and Syme also. Potential for carnage during the first sector here in Japan. Welcome in to those joining for the first time. Do drop us a follow. Give us your predictions in the chat for the race ahead. Thanks to Smug, Swanton and Bunny's Vengeance for your comments so far. Don't forget, I'm back at 10 PM for Blobby Mondays. Blobby and Baker's Monday Night Social League. We are off to Australia. And I'll be hoping to build on the 4th place finish last week at Jeddah, which really I should have got a podium, but not very happy. But enough about that. This is DRS Mondays 8 PM and DRS Extreme Thursdays 8 PM. It's the same track each week for each league, so we will be back in Japan on Thursday night from 8 PM. And I've kind of run out of things to say during this interval, which seems to get longer every week. But at least nobody's readied up too early and incurred the wrath of the stewards this week. That's happened a couple of times. Here we are then. We haven't got a formation lap, folks, so it's 5 lights and away we go. And Swanton's jumped the start and he has got a 5-second penalty and is dropping down the order also. But UJ takes the lead of the race into turn 1. Joker's got a drive through for a penalty, and Swanton is out of the race. And we've got a safety car, have we? No, not quite. UJ leads from MK5. Swanton is out and off his MK5 and being swallowed up by the field here. So a big mistake from MK5 somewhere along the line. And now Ben Lane has dropped a few positions. And Simon's ahead of Scornful Griffin. Is he? Oh, they're both in the wall! They're both in the wall! Simon Swanton are in the wall! And out of the race. And I think we've got a restart. We've got a restart. We have got a restart, so let's leave the session and await a re-invite, I believe. We have got a red flag and a restart, folks. Let's just go into the chat quickly. Some settings were wrong. This is the problem. Obviously, hats off to Smug, who usually does all of this stuff. So, in his absence, a little error was made there. So, it's a restart. Just let them know I need a re-invite. And there was all kinds of carnage happening there, so the red flag probably was a very good thing. So apologies for that, folks. We will get back in now. And once everybody is back again, they will have to turn off qualifying and set the grid, which hopefully somebody had a record of. So I apologise folks for the slight delay as we get everybody back into the lobby. If Swanton is still listening to me jabber on, you do need to switch off qualifying and set the manual grid. But this shouldn't take too long once we get everybody back in. Hopefully this time we will get a formation lap and time for... Need to go through the tyre selections and strategy options that are being selected. There we go, that's the qualifying switched off, so once everybody gets back in their cars we can get the grid sorted. We appear to have sunshine rather than the dynamic weather option. Not sure actually what the settings are supposed to be. So I think that's everybody in. Just Skippy to get back in his car. We've got both Astons, both Ferraris, both Alpines, Williams, McLarens. We've got both Red Bulls, both Mercedes, just one Alfa Romeo, which I think is correct, and both Hasses. So I believe that's everybody. UJ's disappeared now. There he is, he's back. Skippy needs to get in his car, which is an Alfa Tauri. I think the other Alfa Romeo was the one that was empty. That's King Kong's usual seat. So I think once Skippy gets in his car, we are ready. Formation lap apparently was on, but didn't happen. That's what I've not seen before. So, not sure on that one. Grid order just being formed. So apologies for the continued delay here, folks. Swanton is just beavering away to get the grid set up. Those things do happen with glitches in the game, etc. And in this case, the settings being incorrect. So hopefully we'll be underway shortly. This won't impact the finish time too much, so panic not if you're waiting for Blobby Mondays later on. We'll still be going at 10 o'clock. And it's ready up time once again. Okay, so we are going to get back underway once everybody sees the ready up message, or sees that people enough are readying up, so they'll do it themselves from here. And then we're not sure if we're going to have a formation lap, because apparently it didn't work last time. So we will see when we get onto the grid. "27 lap race then around the Suzuka circuit. MK5 will start on pole position for Alpine and will be followed by UJ in second, Scornful Griffin in third. And hopefully this time no jump starts, no carnage, and we can get the full race. Okay, so here we are in sunny Suzuka. Again, we'll have a bit of a pause while drivers sort setups and fuel loads and tyre strategies. And then I have no idea whether we'll have a formation lap or not. But if we don't, I will try and mention tyre selections when I can, amongst the carnage and action that always is the first lap. So another bit of a pause here, and while that happens, I will remind you apparently if the formation lap doesn't work this time, we are just carrying on, so no need to red flag again. Unless too many people are glitched out, of course. So Scornful Griffin leads the way in the championship. He's got a healthy lead from Ben Lane. UJ and MK5 and Syme all within 5 points of each other there for third place. UJ 71, MK5 70 and Syme 67. They're quite a way behind Scornful, who has 110 points though. King Kong's lead in his absence is frittering away. He's on 101 in the Pro-Am. Sloth in the Aston Martin is on 93 with Sainsy on 75. 50 Gent missing as well today, 72. And it's Al Newt 64, Skippy 63, Easy Life 60. And in the Constructors, Red Bull lead the way by 30 points from Ferrari. Aston Martin are a further 8 back. And it's tight between Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri and McLaren, all within 10 points of each other. Haas just a point ahead of Alpine and 6 ahead of Mercedes, with Williams trailing in last place. So you're bang up to date with everything that is happening in DRS. We are on round 8 in this championship. And this time we have a formation lap. So that's good. We can now, very slow off the line there with Swanton, but that's alright. Let's go to tyres and see that again. We have some differing opinions. Always makes it interesting. The front two are on soft tyres, MK5 and UJ. Then the next three, Scornful, Syme and Swanton, are on mediums. Then it's Levi, who for some reason is at the back, is he? No, he isn't. He's okay. Just a bit of gap. Levi, I think, is out of position. In fact, Levi is out of position. He's in front of Swanton now. Ben Lane is next on softs, then it's Mr. Pickle on softs for Mercedes. Miller Vanilla is on mediums on the Alpine and surrounded by soft runners, as Fatlep, Ronnie, Almute and Sloth all take the soft option. TMK is in 14th on mediums, Sainsy behind is also on mediums, as is Easy Life. Skippy is the only driver on the grid who has gone for hard tyres. Then Ninjas and Joker are on the softs. So there we go. We have the tyre selections. Swanton and Levi have swapped places on the formation lap. Not sure about that. Lobby is messed up. Multiple people are locked in the wrong assists. Are we having another red flag here? Doesn't appear so. It appears we're going racing. I've not been told otherwise at the moment, so I'm going to assume we are going racing. Let's see who parks illegally here. See any disqualifications as the grid forms up. Skippy, the only one. And we're good to go here. Here we go. 5 lights. And away we go. And off the line a bit sluggishly is MK5, and he's going to have to come over and cover ahead of UJ. Levi's round the inside and up to 4th place. He's got Syme and Swanton. Great start for him. Ben Lane lost out a little bit there. Fatlap and Ronnie go past Miller Vanilla. We'll go to the front where MK5 leads this time. And Al Newt is off, I think. And so is Syme. Syme and Al Newt are both off. And Syme is out. Syme isn't out, he's left the session. But he's right in the back. What a dreadful opening lap for Ferrari as UJ closes in on MK5. Ben Lane loses a couple of places to the Mercedes, and he's going to lose another one here as Ronnie passes him. Ben Lane will try and get this one back up the inside into the chicane. Ronnie keeps it just about, but now will be forced to the outside. And Miller Vanilla will look to have a go as well. UJ has taken the lead. UJ takes the lead from MK5. Ronnie and Ben Lane still scrapping away, but we'll stick with the leaders for a second as we missed the overtake there for the lead. And off goes MK5! MK5 goes off and he's been passed by Levi and Scornful, and up the inside goes Swanton as well. Swanton trying to get up the inside, he's being followed by two Mercedes here. And he gets the move done on MK5, who really struggled there after going off and has now dropped down to 5th place and has got both Mercedes right behind. But he will look to push Swanton into a mistake now. Mercedes has got a good run out of the corner there. It's Mr. Pickle. And off is TMK. And we've got a virtual safety car. Just as Mr. Pickle was going to make the move, we've got a virtual safety car and TMK's been disqualified. TMK's out. Syme has rejoined. And his car is still going. TMK is out and gone. Al Newt's at the back having pitted. But we have a virtual safety car and UJ has a nice lead now over Scornful Griffin in 2nd. Levi is in 3rd. Al Newt has picked up a drive-through. It's a drive-through for Al Newt. Swanton is in 4th ahead of MK5, who has Mr. Pickle for company. Mr. Pickle followed by his teammate Fatlep. Then it's Ronnie in 8th, Ben Lane down in 9th now. And Miller Vanilla is 10th. Sloth is in 11th from Sainsy. Then it's Joker, Easy Life, Skippy, Ninjas, Syme, who's back in his car. And then Al Newt, who's serving that drive-through, having already also pitted. He's going to be close to being a lap down. Not quite. So UJ leads from Scornful Griffin. Levi in 3rd and catching as Fatlep makes the move on his teammate. Fatlep past Mr. Pickle. MK5 is chasing down Swanton here. He's on soft tyres and Swanton is on mediums. Could have started on pole, but has had a tough start. He's going to retake 4th place. And does so. Joker is up to 12th. He is on a last to first here. And he is up to 12th. So good start for Joker. Doing a through the field, Buddy's Vengeance style. We've seen this from Buddy's Vengeance a couple of times. Going from the back of the field and getting to the podium. Or nearly the podium. MK5 did similar in Monaco, and off! Off goes Joker, pushing a little bit too hard, the same place as MK5 went off earlier, and he's back down to 14th. Swanton still sticking close to the back of MK5. Mr. Pickle now struggling and has got a queue of cars behind him. Well, his teammate has gapped a little bit, so Ronnie, Ben Lane and Miller Vanilla are all closing in on Mr. Pickle for 7th. And wide there, big wide is Mr. Pickle. And Ronnie might get him here. He's got a good run out of the corner. He's going to go around the outside, is he? Or is he just going to bide his time and go into the chicane? Going to try and go around the outside of that as well. And Ronnie makes the move. Great move by Ronnie. Great move by Ronnie to take 7th place from Mr. Pickle. And Ben Lane's getting involved now. And they could be going 3 wide here. And almost contact. And Ronnie defending there. Ben Lane has got past Mr. Pickle. Symes sets the fastest lap of the race. All action in the midfield at the moment. Ronnie from Ben Lane, from Mr. Pickle, from Miller Vanilla. Sloth is catching Sainsy. That could be important in the Pro-Ams. And off at the back is Ninjas. Ninjas off and lost a place there to Syme. Beginning his recovery after first round incidents followed by a disconnection. Ben Lane has now passed Ronnie and is up into 7th place. Swanton still sticking to the back of MK5. And in fact he's going to try and make a move here, and Swanton is back into 4th place. Swanton taking MK5 there. Let's see if there's any changes in the order here. The field certainly closing up together as Miller Vanilla's off. Miller Vanilla's off there. And Ronnie overtakes Mr. Pickle, does he? Or Mr. Pickle overtakes Ronnie. Both of them are scrapping. Miller Vanilla is carrying on. He hasn't crawled into the pits, I don't think. Been overtaken there by Ninjas. MK5 has got Swanton back again. They're side by side and Swanton's got MK5 back again. So good scrap developing between these two. UJ leads from Scornful by 3 seconds. Levi is holding 3rd, which is excellent so far. And then Swanton and MK5 are a little way back, about 5 seconds. Then Fatlep is trying to cling to the back of this battle and get involved. Then it's Ben Lane who leads Mr. Pickle, Ronnie, Sainsy, Sloth, Joker, all in this little battle. Joker is back up to 12th after we saw him go off. He's climbed his way through the field. Then it's Skippy, Easy Life, Syme, Ninjas, Miller Vanilla and Al Newt at the back, who is the only one to have pitted. Not anymore he isn't, because MK5 is in the pits. And it's a front wing change for MK5. So he must have had some kind of contact, and he will drop right the way down the field. So MK5 then drops down right to 17th. This midfield battle still all very close together. This puts Joker up to 11th and he's right on the tail of this battle. Mr. Pickle, Ronnie, Sainsy, Sloth. And Sloth almost going into the back there of Sainsy. Look at Joker in behind, he is flying. And a bit of a wobble, and almost took each other out. Sloth had a wobble and almost collected Joker on the way, but Joker managed to get past and up into 10th. Skippy has now closed in on these two as a result of that little incident. Joker will now try to close down Sainsy, who has dropped off a little from Ronnie and Mr. Pickle, who have in turn dropped off from Ben Lane. So Joker's next target will be Sainsy. Bit of glitching going on as always. Miller Vanilla is past Ninjas and back up into 15th place. We've lost just one driver, TMK, who was disqualified for driving the wrong way apparently. Possibly trying to recover a spin and get into the pit lane. I'm not sure, I didn't see. Bit wide there was Joker, touching gravel. And Sloth is right in behind, and Skippy's joining this battle as well. So the midfield at the moment is where the action's at. As you can see, Ronnie closing up on Mr. Pickle, who's lost about 3 seconds to Ben Lane in front. Good evening, Baker, in the chat. Looking forward to Australia later on this afternoon, this evening. And up the inside there goes Ronnie on Mr. Pickle. Ronnie overtaking Mr. Pickle. It concertinaed in behind. MK5 is back up to 16th ahead of Ninjas. Syme overtaking Skippy, will go side by side with Skippy and dives up the inside, and up to 12th place goes Syme. MK5 sets the fastest lap of the race. He's up to 16th, and soon his teammate will be getting out of his way. And there you go, up into 15th place goes MK5 on his recovery drive. Mr. Pickle trying to stick with Ronnie. Very eventful race so far. The action all in the midfield at the moment, where you can see Ronnie, Mr. Pickle, Sainsy, Joker, Sloth all going for it. And Syme has now caught the end of this battle. Sloth having another little wobble on the exit of the hairpin there. That's causing him problems. And he's now dropped a little bit back from Joker. And he'll have Syme big in his mirrors. Joker trying to make a move on Sainsy. Getting close now. Maybe run a little wide again. Four of them all close going into the corner here. Syme overtaking Sloth behind. As you can see in the background. Into the pits comes Ronnie and Joker. And Sloth. So this is going to work out well for Syme, who has now jumped back up to 9th place. Easy Life passes Skippy for 10th. And MK5 is back up to 12th ahead of those who pitted. Ronnie, Joker and Sloth all going to hard tyres to the end. MK5 is going to try and make the mediums last 20 laps, which could be difficult. But the softs have lasted 9 laps for the leader UJ, and for Levi, Fatlet, Ben Lane and Mr. Pickle so far. So that's dampened the battles a little bit. Joker and Ronnie are still very close together, but a bit further down the field now. And Joker's going to have a look up the inside, just having to bide his time a bit. And now we'll try and go round, and oh, a nudge! A big nudge! He got his elbows out there, did Joker, and a big nudge to Ronnie, and almost put him in the wall. Syme is closing in on Sainsbury. Of course, that midfield battle that was split up by the pit stops. Syme was catching the end of it. Fatlep pits and picks up a penalty. We'll see where he comes back out, but that 5-second penalty is not going to help him. Syme is going past Sainsbury down the main straight and is back up to 7th. It's a cracking recovery drive from the rear of the field for Syme so far. MK5 is back up to 11th now after Fatlep pit. And Fatlep is back out in 12th place. Joker and Ronnie scrapping again. We saw the last instalment of that. And Joker seems to be retaining that position. Sloth is clinging on to the back of these two. And it's been a lonely race for Al Newt at the very back of the field and detached by 30 seconds. After he pit on lap 1 and had a drive-through. UJ is in the pits from the lead. And Levi is also in the pits. So UJ and Levi both into the pit lane. Scornful Griffin and Swanton go through. Ben Lane continues another lap. Mr. Pickle is in the pits. So let's see where UJ comes back out. It's going to be ahead of Syme and in 4th place. Levi is rejoining behind Easy Life but ahead of his teammate, so he's going to be 8th. And Mr. Pickle is going to be right the way back in 13, 14, 15th place because Ronnie and Joker have gone through. Mr. Pickle's come out ahead of Sloth. Ninjas is in the pits from the back of the field. So now the question is, as Levi overtakes Easy Light. Oh, Levi was off there. Levi was off. They're 3 wide in behind him. And a dive, a big dive by MK5, and there's contact there. And Skippy, Levi, Fatlep and MK5 all involved. But a big dive from MK5 and he's back up to 7th. There was definite contact there. And right and off! Off goes MK5! Off goes MK5. And he almost collected, and he's out! Out of the race is MK5. Ben Lane is in the pits from 3rd place. MK5 is out of the race. Almost collected one or both Alpha Tauris with the spin. And into the pits comes Skippy. Ben Lane's coming out of the pits and he's going to be out in 9th or 10th place. He's going to be 9th ahead of Miller Vanilla. But we've lost MK5 there. It never quite went well for him today from pole position as Mr. Pickle overtakes Ronnie. So Scornful, Swanton, Syme, Sainsbury, Easy Life and Miller Vanilla yet to pit. Bit of a wobble in the background there from Ronnie, and Sloth is going to make the most of that and take 13th place. Levi still close behind Fatlep here. And looking for a move up his inside. Have to get that done before the left-hander, and does. I've got a yellow flag in sector 2 there. And that may have been Miller Vanilla. Fatlep picks up a penalty. Mr. Pickle picks up a penalty as he was right behind Joker there. You saw it. And he's cut the chicane. Mr. Pickle coming in too deep. Levi overtakes Fatlep and Joker overtakes Miller Vanilla. Up into 10th place is Joker. Back to 6th is now Levi. Ahead of Fatlep. Both Mercedes picking up penalties there. Swanton has also got a penalty. I missed that one. I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. 3-second pen for Swanton. 8 for Fatlep. And 3 for Mr. Pickle. Ben Lane overtaking Easy Life and up into 8th place. Is the plan for the drivers yet to pit to go medium soft? Could that be the idea? Fatlep sticking to the back of Levi, and into the pits comes Swanton. So we'll see. Is it medium, is it soft, or is it hard tyres for Swanton? It is soft tyres. Syme is in the pits as well. What's his choice? Softs for him too. Sainzy's up to 3rd. Fatlep passes Levi. Let's see where they come out of the pits. Swanton's come out in 6th place. And Syme in 10th place. 11th to 12th place. Miller Vanilla's also in the pits. So Syme's come back out in 12th. Levi versus Fatlep is continuing. And Miller Vanilla will come out of the pits in 15th. So it is soft tyres. That Syme has come out on mediums. Is he not on mediums already? Did he pit on lap 1? Let's just have a brief check of Syme's tyres here. He's gone medium. Surely an error for Syme. He's going to have to pit again. Scornful Griffin in to the pit lane then, and UJ retakes the lead. Scornful, is he going to come out in 2nd? It looks that way, as Fatlep, Levi both catch Sainsy down the main straight, and Fatlep's up to 3rd. And they're behind Scornful Griffin. Levi's going to try and get past Sainsy just as quickly. It's the wrong sector to be trying to do that, and Sainsy just got out of his way, I think. And Swanton is not far behind, and he's going to go through as well. Sainsy had every right to defend, but he's on old tyres. It's not his race, so perhaps sensibly got nicely out of the way there. Just Sainsy and Easy Life yet to pit, but Syme has surely dropped one here, because according to the game at least, he has gone medium. So we'll need to stop again at some point. Al Newt is in the pits at the very back of the field, and out he comes on a new set of mediums. So it's a big gap now for UJ ahead of Scornful Griffin. Fatlep still hounded by Levi, and Levi's going to go up the inside. And Levi takes the position back. 3rd place again for Levi. Swanton now getting involved as well with these two. Could be 3 wide here. Swanton's got to get both of them. Or is he? Levi holds it in. Brave there for Levi. Sainsy and Easy Life finally pit. They're surely going to go soft to the end now. Sainsy and Easy Life. They're going to come out outside the top 10. Skippy has gone past Easy Life but not Sainsy. So he'll be in between them two. Miller Vanilla is also between them two. As Easy Life rejoins in 15th. So Levi still managing to hold off Swanton just about for 3rd at the moment. Fatlep trying to stick to them. Round the outside which becomes the inside, and that's a nice move by Swanton. And Swanton is up into 3rd place. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. UJ leads by 11 seconds. Scornful has closed that gap a bit since the pit stops. And here comes Levi for a dive up the inside. Scornful sets the fastest lap of the race. I did say he was closing the gap. Swanton manages to stay ahead of Levi. Fatlep is getting back involved as well. And Ben Lane is catching these also. Here comes Levi up the inside of Swanton and back up into 3rd place. You can see just how close they are, and look at Ben Lane in the background also catching them now. Scornful closing the gap. It's still 10 seconds though. He set the fastest lap of the race. This battle then, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Levi, Swanton, Fatlep and Ben Lane. Then there's a gap back to Joker, who from the back is now in 7th. He's got Mr. Pickle and Syme for company. We'll stay with this battle at the moment as Swanton retakes 3rd place from Levi. The leaders then, starting lap 20 of 27. Swanton 3rd, Levi 4th, Fatlep 5th. Ben Lane trying to cling on in 6th and get involved with this battle. Swanton, of course, needing to get away because of that penalty as Mr. Pickle overtakes Joker and up into 7th place. Syme looks on in behind. Bit of a wobble from Mr. Pickle just there. Could give Joker a way back past perhaps. Swanton has now left Levi behind a little bit. Up the inside goes Joker. And Syme's looking to get involved as well. Joker is through and so is Syme. So Mr. Pickle drops both places there. Syme now passing Joker. That's worked out lovely for Syme. He's up to 7th. Joker 8th. And now Mr. Pickle drops to 9th. Fatlep getting very, very close to Levi here for 4th. Swanton has almost got rid of that 3-second penalty in terms of a gap to Fatlep and Levi, and Fatlep makes the move. MK5 says he's done racing on Mondays. Hope that's not the case. Levi picks up a time penalty. You saw it on screen. Just running wide there. Too wide. And Swanton will be jumping for joy when he sees that Fatlep and Levi both have penalties. As will Ben Lane, who's looking on at these two at the moment without making much impression on them. Syme now clearing away from Joker. MK5 says he got wing damage from Swanton into the slowest corner. I will stay out of anything that will perhaps need the stewards. Here comes Ben Lane then on Levi now. Levi dropping to 5th behind Fatlep. Scornful has closed the gap now to 6 seconds. 6.5 seconds behind UJ. Will we have a grandstand finish between these two? Will Scornful's tyres last enough to really challenge for the win? Remains to be seen. And Fatlep's off. Off goes Fatlep. And that's put Levi back up to 4th and Ben up to 5th. So Fatlep made the mistake there, lost a couple of places. Mr. Pickle is closing back up on Joker. Further back, Miller Vanilla is catching Skippy. We'll try to keep you in with all the battles as they happen. Through the chicane come these two with no change. Ben Lane has not managed to get past with DRS down the main straight. Well, let's see if Mr. Pickle can, and indeed he can. Mr. Pickle up to 8th then ahead of Joker, but he does have penalty to contend with. And Joker's trying to run it back round his outside. What a move that is, bit of contact. And Joker, ballsy move there. And now back up the inside goes Mr. Pickle. Thrilling scrap here between these two. Just a reminder of the penalties. It's 8 seconds for Fatlep. That's going to cost him to Syme at the moment. Mr. Pickle has 3, which means this battle with Joker might not end up in his favour. Swanton and Levi have 3. Ben Lane is not quite within the 3 of Swanton for the podium, but he will leapfrog Levi at this stage. And while all this happens, it's now under 4.5 seconds the gap between UJ and Scornful Griffin. Once that gets if that gets much closer, we will take you there. They're just separated at the moment by Al Newt, who will be lapped. Miller Vanilla closing in on Skippy. Let's have a look here. Easy Life picks up a penalty. Miller might get this done with DRS down the straight, but he dropped a bit back on the last corner there. Easy Life's there as well. Ninjas goes inside defensive, and Miller can't do anything about it on this occasion. So good defensive work by Skippy. And Easy Life will now close in on Miller Vanilla, but has just picked up a penalty. We'll go back to Ben Lane chasing Levi. Now 3.5 seconds the gap for Scornful Griffin to catch UJ. He's going to catch him. Whether he can pass him is a different matter. But it could be a grandstand finish in the final 3 laps here. Ben Lane maybe not going for the move, because obviously he knows he doesn't need to, but he will want to get up the road and try and chase down Swanton for that podium. Because at the moment he's just a second off of leapfrogging him as well. So he's got to bat, and off is someone in sector 1. Nope, that's okay. Here's Scornful then. Now just, you can see the gap. It's under 2.5 seconds to UJ. Syme is catching Fatlap now with his lapped teammate just behind, and Syme's going to go up the inside. Not quite getting it done this time, but Syme is chasing Fatlap and doesn't actually need to pass him at this stage, but we'll try to anyway, of course. Easy Life passes Skippy, and the gap for the lead is now 1.6 seconds going into the last 3 laps of the race. Syme does get Fatlap, and up into 6th place goes Syme, which on a recovery from the back of the field is a pretty good showing. Ben Lane still hanging back from Levi, but they have closed a little to Swanton. He's going to be careful of Ben Lane with the 3-second penalty. Levi, of course, also has a penalty, so Swanton's not going to worry about him. 1.5 seconds then the gap, and closing. Scornful seeming to make almost half a second on the hairpin. He's now within that 1 second that's so vital for DRS. These two have had great scraps throughout the season. Rightfully they're up the top end of the championship. Scornful the championship leader, UJ right there in the chasing pack. Scornful Griffin though seems to have a bit more car underneath him right now, and is coming very close here, and with DRS is surely going to get the move done and take the lead of the race. In fact, he is through, and into the lead goes Scornful Griffin. Scornful Griffin and into the lead. UJ, who had led for so long, is probably going to have to settle for second now. Ben Lane with DRS is going to try and make this move on Levi. He doesn't have to do anything silly though. Syme is in the pits, so he has realised that mistake and is going to drop right down the field and out of the top 10. A shame for him, but he is going to come back out in 12th place, and he could get swallowed by Miller Vanilla as well. In fact, 13th place for Syme. 2 laps to go. UJ is sticking with Scornful, and just as you thought Scornful Griffin might get away, in fact UJ is sticking with him and making a battle out of this. Fatlap has been passed by his teammate Mr. Pickle. UJ is going to have DRS here as they begin the final lap. Ben Lane has overtaken. UJ is back then into the lead. UJ retakes the lead on the final lap of the race. Ben Lane has overtaken Levi finally and will now try and get that second back that he needs to get on the podium ahead of Swanton, who has a penalty. Joker has passed Fatlep, who seemingly is having a bit of a nightmare late on, but Joker picks a penalty up. That's not going to affect his position with Fatlep. It may affect his position with Mr. Pickle, who he could have leapfrogged, but we're going to stick with the leaders as they're within a second of each other and they're on the final lap of the race. Syme overtaking Miller Vanilla for 12th place. Has UJ managed to do enough? It didn't look good for him when Scornful passed him, but now, barring a big dive into the final chicane, it could be UJ's race, but Scornful is closing, and closing quickly. Scornful's going to do it. Scornful back up into the lead on the final chicane. Round the last corner they go. And Scornful Griffin wins from UJ. What a finish that is. Scornful Griffin wins from UJ in second. Swanton needs to get home as quickly as he can as Ben Lane is closing fast on that 3-second gap. Swanton crosses the line. Ben is going to miss out. He finishes 4th. Levi in 5th. Mr. Pickle and Fatlep are the next one. Fatlep has overtaken Joker, in fact. So Mr. Pickle will come home in 6th place. Fatlep in 7th. Will lose that place with penalties though. Sloth takes 7th ahead of Joker with penalties. Sainsy takes 9th. Fatlep will finish 10th. Ronnie 11th. Simon 12th. Miller Vanilla 13th. Skippy takes 14th on penalty from Easy Life. They were very close together at the end. Ninjas will finish in 16th and Al Newt finishes 17th, a lap down. What a finish we have there. Scornful Griffin winning on the last corner from UJ. Swanton taking a very good podium there. Ben Lane just missing out. Levi finishing in 5th place. Hello Mrs. Blobby in the chat. Fabulous race indeed it was. And I will run you through the full finish. Joker picks up the driver of the day on his last to first attempt. I will quickly run you through the results. Then I'm going to have 20 minutes off, and then we'll be back at 10 o'clock for Blobby Mondays. So it was Scornful Griffin the winner and the fastest lap. Maximum points for championship leader ahead of UJ in 2nd. Swanton finished 3rd with Ben Lane 4th. Levi in 5th. Mr. Pickle 6th. Sloth was 7th. Joker in 8th. From the back of the grid. 9th was Sainsy and 10th Fatlep. 11th Ronnie, 12th Syme after that tyre strategy disaster. Then it was Miller Vanilla in 13th, Skippy was 14th, Easy Life in 15th, Ninjas in 16th and Al Newt finished 17th and a lap down. MK5 and TMK were your DNFs. I will be back at 10 o'clock for Blobby Mondays, and then we're back in Japan on Thursday night from 8 PM for DRS Extreme. Until then, I've been Blobby Butler. This has been DRS. Good night.